After a long wait of more than 20 days, the Mahayuti 2.0 cabinet is finally out. While the portfolio distribution might still take some time, a couple more days, but we've gotten clarity on what exactly does the equation look like when it comes to ministerial division amongst the three different parties as far as the Mahayuti partners are concerned. As was expected, the Bharatiya Janata Party took the lion's share, while we were expecting them to take as many as 21 ministerial berths out of the total ministerial berths available in Maharashtra. As of now, there are 20 ministers or 20 MLAs who will serve as ministers, including Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis from the Bharatiya Janata Party. What happens to that one seat? We'll come to that in a short while, but let us have a look at the others before that. Amongst the 39 ministers or MLAs who took oath as ministers in Nagpur yesterday, we saw that 11 MLAs from Shiv Sena, Shinde Sena, took oath as minister. That was followed by NCP Ajit Pawar faction, where 9 MLAs took oath. Now, when you add all of these together, you'll get 39. 39 is the number of ministers, number of MLAs who were sworn in as ministers in Nagpur on the 15th of December. But then you also got to add the three executive heads, that is the 2 deputy chief ministers and the chief minister, and that takes this total to 42. Now, it is an extremely interesting kind of an equation that has been put in place, and let us try and dissect it party-wise, right? When you talk about Ajit Pawar faction, he has relied on some of the leaders with whom he's considered to be very close. The likes of Narari Jirwal, who had served as the deputy speaker in Maharashtra Vidhan Parishad, will be serving as a cabinet minister this time around. Aditi Tatkare, who has ministerial experience, she's the daughter of Sunil, of the only Lok Sabha MP from NCP, Sunil Tatkare. She will be continuing her term as a cabinet minister as well. Besides that, we've got a senior NCP leader, Hassan Musharraf, continuing as a minister again. Now, he's someone who has been a minister in several alliances, be it Yuti, be it Aghadi, and this time around as well. After winning, a very easy election for him, he will be continuing as a minister. What is a surprise name here? Well, it's Dhananjay Munde. Because from what we are learning is that Dhananjay Munde's name wasn't cleared up until the very end. And there are several reasons for it. Although Dhananjay Munde is considered to be a very close associate of Ajit Pawar, the recent violence, the recent violent incidents that have been taking place in Beed region of Maharashtra, from where Dhananjay Munde comes from. Not just him, even Pankaja Munde comes from there. But then the involvement of Dhananjay Munde's close associates in the incident, say, related to the death of a former sarpanch or several other violent activities as well. The association of Dhananjay Munde's close people is what has been alleged by the opposition, which is why there was a lot of doubt on whether he will get a nod from both Ajit Pawar and of course the Chief Minister of the state to serve as a cabinet minister. He had been on a very important portfolio last time around, that is Agriculture Ministry, but he will also be continuing this time around. When you talk about the people who missed out, there are some big names there. You've got the likes of Dilip Walse Patil from Ahmednagar, who served as a former Home Minister, he served as a former Finance Minister. A very experienced and a senior leader. He did not get a nod. Not just him, we also have Chhagan Bhujbal, who served as a former Deputy Chief Minister of the state. Even he did not get a nod this time around. Besides, of course, many other leaders, including Anil Patil, who was a minister in the last cabinet, and Sanjay Bansode as well. Now, what is interesting here is that there is already the chatter regarding how especially Chhagan Bhujbal might be given some bigger responsibility in the party has already started to make rounds. It will be interesting to see whether he is elevated as a Rajya Sabha MP or is given some important portfolio or important position as far as the party dynamics here in the state is concerned. When you talk about Eknath Shinde's cabinet ministers, there are 12 ministers including him. There is no woman minister here, but again you see some close associates finding their names. You've got the likes of Uday Samant, you've got Shambhu Raje Desai, you've got Dada Bhose. Now these are people who form the very close-knit circle of Eknath Shinde, right? Besides that, you've got the inclusion of some successive MLAs with the likes of Sanjay Shirsat, again a very close ally of Eknath Shinde, and Bharat Gogawli, who had been going on record making it very clear that he was demanding a ministerial berth this time around, and his wish has come true because his name is there in the ministerial list, and he was one of the MLAs to take oath as minister in Nagpur yesterday. But again, there are some names who've missed out. There are some former ministers who've missed out, like Tanaji Sawant, the health minister in Mahayuti 1.0 government. Although he wasn't a minister in the erstwhile Shiv Sena's government in the Mahavikas Aghadi's term, but he was a health minister last time around. But one probable reason that has been cited for his, him not really getting included in this list is because of the several controversial statements that he has made, not just against the opposition, but especially against his allies as well. Besides that, we also have someone like Abdul Sattar and Deepak Kesarkar, some really senior Shiv Sena leaders who could not find their name in the ministerial setup this time around. Now, there's more to it on how long are the ministers who took oath yesterday going to serve, but again, we'll come to that in a short while. When you talk about the Bharatiya Janata Party, now that is the biggest team, right? That is the biggest team, not just the most number of cabinet ministers, but also the highest number of state ministers are from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Here we see that the inclusion of leaders like the BJP state unit president, that is Chandrasekhar Bawankule, is there. We see the Mumbai BJP unit chief, that is Ashish Shelar, been included, in this particular cabinet list. We see Pankaja Munde. Pankaja Munde's professional relationship with Devendra Fadnavis has been a point of concern for a lot of the Bharatiya Janata Party followers, but her inclusion in this cabinet proves that things might have become a little better than what was the case earlier. We also have Nitesh Rane, who is the son of Narayan Rane, an MP from the Konkan region of the state. He's there in Delhi, of course, working, and now he's got his son as a cabinet minister as well. He's changed his, politics in the last few years. We're seeing that, especially in the last few months, he's put on the saffron avatar. He's been going about really promoting the cause of Hindutva. Even yesterday, after he took the oath, he spoke very openly about how Hindutva was a point of concern, was a point of, his politics, and it will continue to be so. Now, who are the leaders who missed out from the Bharatiya Janata Party? You got a really close ally of Devendra Fadnavis, that is Ravindra Chavan, who could not find a place for himself. He was the minister last time around. He wasn't a minister in 2014, but then rumors are also making rounds about how his name might be in contention to be Bharatiya Janata Party's state unit president, given the fact that Chandrasekhar Bawankule will also serve as cabinet minister and the BJP is keen on having one position for one leader. We can expect Ravindra Chavan to be, to fill in that vacuum of serving as the BJP's state unit president. Besides that, we also got senior leader Sudhir Mungantiwar, who served at some really important portfolios, not just from 2019, but even in 1995. He served as a state minister, but even he could not find his name this time around. Now, coming to several of the questions that are still unanswered, what happens to that one seat or one ministerial quota that everyone was talking about, right? BJP was supposed to have 21, but at the moment they have only 20 ministers. Well, they're keeping it open is what the reports are suggesting. This indicates that we might see some inclusion or entry of a big opposition leader in either the Bharatiya Janata Party or in the Mahayuti, and this probably serves as an indication or an invitation for that particular minister. To be very clear, we've seen that offers have been made. According to reports, offers have been made to Jayant Patil, and there were rounds about how ministerial berth has been kept for him if he decides to join Mahayuti. He went on record to say that NCP takes Yogya Nirnay, that is a proper, correct decision at the correct time. Now, what kind of news was he trying to hint at? There's a lot of speculation about that, but one needs to wait and watch out for, when it comes to the future activity of the senior NCP leader, that is Jayant Patil. Amongst several other things, we've seen that caste consolidation has been one of the top issues of the Bharatiya Janata Party-led Mahayuti government for the longest possible time. We saw that was one of the pointers that they used during their campaign, while the NCP, while the Shiv Sena, and especially the Indian National Congress were going very hard with the constitution debate. Hindu consolidation is something that the BJP looked at, and one can see a reflection of that in their cabinet ministerial distribution as well. As we see as many as 16 Maratha ministers, we see 17 OBC ministers, we see 2 Brahmins, and a bunch of them from scheduled caste and scheduled tribes as well. So at least prima facie, we're seeing that, they have tried to give representation to as many communities, as many castes, in this state as possible. But there are several regions who still feel that they do not have adequate representation, right? Be it some regions in Marathwada, be it some regions in Western Maharashtra. But the leaders have also gone on record to state that most of these ministers will serve in their position for 2.5 years. And after that, we are expecting a reshuffle. And that is what we had Eknath Shinde talk about yesterday. We had Ajit Pawar talk to the media. That is an attempt to kind of accommodate as many leaders as possible in this particular term of the Mahayuti 2.0 government, and also to give representation to as many districts as possible. Now, all eyes are on the portfolio distribution. While these events are taking place, from the government's point of view, we are seeing that protests have also started erupting from the opposition. Protests over the death of former Sarpanch in Bid, protests over what happened, in central Maharashtra when it comes to the constitution burning debate, which has been making rounds here in the state. So the opposition is pulling up its socks to attack the government here on several fronts, including, of course, the EVM debate as well. But how successful will they be, especially considering that they've got a very limited presence, that too without a leader of opposition up until now, will be interesting to see in times ahead.